Hey there, everybody. It's the Swamp Cleaner here, back with another video for you. I hope you guys are having a good day. It's a very nice day out there. The seasons are finally changing. It's getting warmer out there. If you're in the Northeast like me, it is getting very nice out there. Hopefully, we can get rid of the masks and the mandates soon because some states are getting rid of them, and a lot of them will hopefully follow suit. And coronavirus is on the way out, but as long as the powers that be can make money off of it, they will keep pushing it. But that's not going to be the topic for today. Today, the topic is going to be Joe Biden and the state of his administration, and quite frankly, the state of our country right now, because just like Joe Biden here, as you can see in the image here, stumbling, bumbling, and fumbling, that's pretty much what's starting to happen to America. And it's very saddening to see. It's very disconcerting. But first, let's get into the main topic. And this all encompasses just the big optics fail that is everything that's going on here, including the falling down or falling up the stairs, and also not taking calls, or I mean, not getting anybody on the line from North Korea. Everybody in North Korea is just giving Joe Biden the cold shoulder. That's not good. That's minor. I mean, Korea, yes, they like to fire off their missiles. They like to rile the saber. They like to do this or that. But I mean, compare and contrast. Donald Trump met with Kim Jong Un once or twice, I believe. He was able to open up relations. He walked into North Korea. Kim Jong Un walked into South Korea. Yes, a lot of this is just symbolic, but these are major first steps. But now it seems like we're reverting backwards because they're not even taking our calls. And apparently, Kim Jong Un's sister said, "Don't want to." What did she say? Don't want to make a scene. Pretty much, she said, "Don't do something stupid over here, Joe." So we're not going to have you over here anytime soon. So that's pretty much a direct slap in the face to Joe Biden. The Koreans don't want him to be there to make a scene. Main issue, though, is that the Chinese were over in Anchorage in Alaska the other day having a peace summit with our Secretary of State. And they pretty much dressed us down. For about 20 minutes, they were berating America, chastising us about uh, all these issues that they have with us and how we're the bad guys and that we need to stop the tariffs and the trade wars and that we need to stop being up in their business. And this guy, what is his name? Anthony Blinken. Anthony Blinken was just just took it, just sat there, took it, even though there were rules to the summit and how long you talk. Remember, these Chinese were on American soil. He should have just stood up, said, "Okay, I'm not going to listen to any more of this," and he should have walked out. I think Mike Pompeo would have done that. But this guy sat there, listened like a good little boy, and then he just responded with his issues about China, and then they had a tit for tat, and then what happened was, and this is all about face. Now, remember, I'm going to get to the point here about how this is a disaster. But to the to the Asian community and to countries in Asia, the culture is very different, and they have face, like saving face, like maintaining your dignity and maintaining your own self-respect is key for other people to see you as influential and powerful. A lot of decisions can be made solely because you were disrespected by somebody else. So that's what a lot of these people don't get when it comes to the differences between Eastern and Western politics. And so just by the fact that they went outside the rules and talked for 20 minutes and dressed down and insulted America and there wasn't pretty much any response, we lost a lot of face in the Asian community, especially in China. So we just lost a lot of face there. And his final response, Blinken's final response was like, "Well, America's not perfect, but we're working on it." Oh my God. Jesus. Did you really do that in front of the Chinese? Come on. So that was egg on your face, 100% disaster. Uh, I guarantee you that the Chinese are not going to take any talk seriously anymore when we want to talk about them being aggressive in Hong Kong and on the island of Taiwan. Because if there's going to be another world war, that's going to be because China invades Taiwan. And because of the pathetic performance of our Secretary of State and others, it now casts that perception, casts that around that America is weak. We will just take it. We will bend down. We will take it. We will kneel. We will be like little whipped little dogs. We'll go to the corner, and that's like blood in the water. Okay, and a lot of these other countries like Iran, North Korea, Russia, and I'm going to get to that in a second there. All these other countries, they're like sharks to blood. They want their piece of the pie, and if they all get together, they can become their own power block. I mean, our allies are pretty much. I mean, Donald Trump, he whipped up our alliances. He whipped our alliances back into shape because our allies were taking advantage of us. But under Donald Trump, yes, he was harsh. His rhetoric was bullish, but he got the job done. And a lot of these countries that are our close allies were really starting to turn the screws again and get back on track to either pay their fair share for NATO or either help, like, not allow America to become the world's purse. So these other countries started becoming more involved internationally. And yes, there's that whole thing about globalism. There's negative and positive globalism. This corporate conglomerate, faceless entity kind of globalism is bad, but like first world nations helping third world nations build infrastructure or like I don't know get medicines and stuff, that's positive globalism. So there's differences there. But let's get back onto track. Uh, like if you compare and contrast, I mean, if Mike Pompeo was in that room, he would have stood up. He would have said, "This talk for at least today is done." He would have walked out, and then of course, you know what would have happened? The mainstream media would have said, "Oh, there goes Mike Pompeo. He's being brash and he's making a mockery of diplomatic processes, and he's going to get the Chinese all angry at us, and they're going to go, ooh, go all Orange Man bad and anti this, anti that, anything that's anti-American and just pro their whatever agenda." Okay, so there's one thing for you. If it was Mike Pompeo, or I guarantee you, if it was any other, even if it was Obama's people, well, maybe. But if it was Clinton, Bush, anybody else, their delegation probably would have walked out in protest. But no, Joe Biden's no, they sat there and took it like good little bitches. Anyway, let's moving on. This ties into Joe Biden's pretty much his entire incompetence and the fact that this man can only talk and talk semi coherently when if he's got it compressed to at least 20 minutes, has at least got a couple days to word through it, get it into his mind, and if it's teleprompted, and then there's no like on the fly questions. Okay, contrast that to Trump, where he could take 30 minutes of questions from the press and be late for the helicopter to get to Air Force One. I mean, there's no question between the speaking abilities of Donald Trump and Joe Biden, and because of the vast differences and the lack thereof for Joe Biden's abilities, that's why Vladimir Putin has come out and said he wants to have a live debate with Joe Biden, have it televised, and have everybody listen for the Russians and Americans to gain some insight and get some positive knowledge from both heads of state. Well, you know what happened? Do you want? I'll give you 5 seconds and answer me this: yes or no? Did Joe Biden accept? And if you answered no, you are correct, because Joe Biden could not debate his way out of a paper bag. The man is uh, cognitively not there. He cannot string sentences together. He will start bringing up metaphors or use kind of like some kind of like anecdotal references or stories to make a point, or he'll just interject, say, "Come on, man." It would be a disaster. I mean, first off, you'd have to deal with a translator too, so you'd be going from Russian to English and then from English to Russian. So let's say it's all jibber jumble. Let's say he actually does say something, but it's all backwards jumbled. The interpreter is saying this on the fly in Russian, and then he probably has to correct himself in Russian, and then the Russian is probably actually going to end up saying something completely different to Vladimir Vladimir Putin. It's going to be like a game of telephone where somebody is actually screwing up. Oh Lord, that would be bad. Um, Plus, it would show his mental fortitude is not there. He's mentally weak. He's slow to grasp a topic, to pick up on it. Like, and he's quick to anger. Oh my God! Just imagine if he gets in, tries to shout down Putin. No, 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 Joe. I see. That's why do you think they didn't ask Donald Trump these things? I mean, and it's not a little bit fair because no other president was asked. I mean, not that I know of, not to my knowledge. You know, I'm only 30 years old, so somebody please enlighten me. Is there another time in history where a head of state called out another head of state directly to do a live debate on TV or over the radio, to where both countries or a ton of other people can watch or listen and decide for themselves? Has that ever happened before? I don't know, but this is the first time I noticed, and it's quite simple to see why, because Vladimir Putin would just debate circles around Joe Biden. It wouldn't even be a debate. He would ask him if he want some apple juice and like maybe some tea or something, and then sit down in a rocking chair. Joe Biden would be like, "Ooh, that sounds good." Oh man, but I mean, even if they did, like anybody, like Macron or Putin or uh, Kim Jong Un or any of these other world leaders who are either positive or negative towards Donald Trump, they asked Donald Trump. Part of me says no, but a lot of me says he wouldn't pass up on that offer. Donald Trump would not pass up on that offer to uh, get some more airtime and be the first. And like I said, tell me if I'm wrong, or be the first president of the United States to debate somebody else who's another world leader live on air. Like, because world leaders, they always talk behind closed doors, and then their spokesmen come out, or they'll come out afterwards and make a statement about, "Oh, our talks were good," and this and that. So that would be cool to see. But like, it's plain as day to see why Putin offered for Joe Biden to debate, because Joe Biden would never be able to do that. Um, he can't string a sentence together, let alone debate anybody for half an hour, or debate anybody for half an hour and then have to also deal with an interpreter. Okay, so moving on to the final topic, which is the saddest one, but it's also the funniest one. It's tragic. It's because we all know, like, it's a conspiracy theory, Honk Honk, that Joe Biden has cognitive decline, because like he always said, like, look at me. I'm witty. I'm snappy. Like, no malarkey coming from me. Oh, that Donald Trump, he's such a mean guy. I want to take him back behind the shed and give him a good old 1-2. That's Joe Biden. So the media and also the Joe Biden campaign always wanted to prop up Joe Biden, like he's spry, he's energetic, he's not like Trump, because the media will try to lambaste Trump and say, "Oh, look at Trump's health issues because he's taking his time walking down an incline, or that he uh, grabs a ball of water with two hands and drinks it like that. I mean, has he ever slipped? Has he ever done a major mistake, slip of the tongue gaffe like Joe Biden does on a multi-weekly basis? Did Trump ever forget the name of his Department of Defense, the Secretary of the Department of Defense, Secretary of Defense? Sorry, did he ever forget that person's name? Did he forget what the Pentagon was? No, Joe Biden has. He's done those things. So I mean, to cap off being humiliated on the diplomatic stage, and now optically he's getting destroyed because you're not projecting strength, you're projecting weakness. When people aren't going to take your calls, when people are trolling you, wanting you to debate them, when you're being called out for your injustices, and like when it comes to the Black Lives Matter narrative and the whole situation with there, the Chinese came out and said that you have an issue where you're like having an epidemic of murders of black people in the streets because of racial motives. They are ones to talk. Look at them. How dare they? Yes, I'm using that term. How dare the Chinese say that when they are genociding an entire group of people, the Uyghur Muslims? They're torturing these people. They're subjecting them to experiments. They are breeding them out. They're forcing the women to breed with Chinese men and have Chinese babies. They're trying to literally destroy this entire group of people, this entire ethnic group of people. But then they have the gall to turn around and say, well, no, you guys have an issue because look how horribly you've handled the situation with Black Lives Matter and your optics are terrible. Guys, I've seen you guys have a chain gangs of Uyghur Muslims and you're loading them onto boxcars. I was watching the Tim Pool podcast and their latest guest was on there and said that's the closest thing he's seen to something that looked like what happened during the Holocaust. So, China, you need to really check yourself on that one. Yeah, guys, I don't know what to say. Like, look at this. Poor Joe. He walks up. He brushes himself off. He gets up the rest of the way, does the salute, gets on the plane. You know, he does his best to recuperate. But the media, look at the media here. This is the last thing I want to talk about. The media, these people, all they do now is just regurgitate what the White House will come out with. Oh, it was windy on the tarmac, and that's why he slipped. Oh, he's such a busy guy, so he's not having a press conference after 60 days. All these things. And the media will just verbatim spew it out, regurgitate it, and tell you, well, that's it. That's all we got. Kind of reminds you of that interview that Mike Cernovich had with, was it CNN? Where the guy's like, why are you lying about Hillary Clinton's health? He's like, no, that's what a physician says. He's like, well, no, the campaign said she's fine. He's like, well, why do you believe what the campaign says? See, why does the media just believe what the White House says? Because they didn't believe what Donald Trump's White House said. They scrutinized, they refused to take answers at face value. They would harass at some points pretty much the president and his secretaries of press, all of them pretty much. It's night and day, the contrast compared to the treatment of Donald Trump's administration and Joe Biden's administration. They're giving Joe Biden a pass. There no press conference for 60 days. It's the 20th of March. He's been president for 2 months as of today. And he still hasn't done a full-fledged, just a single-off, one-off press conference, come up to the podium, the press is there, answer some questions, like Donald Trump has done and will do if he ever gets a chance again, on numerous occasions, and he would do it for 30 minutes or more. He would do it on the White House lawn. He'd do it on the tarmac at Joint Base Andrews. He would do it anywhere, and they would lap it up. They would love it, but then they would also twist and demonize it. Here, Joe Biden doesn't give him anything, and so they're trying to squeeze the life out of whatever they can get, but then they still turn and give cover to this guy. So you have to ask yourself, why are they doing this? Oh yeah, this is a good one. I saw this. Let's get a little silly. I saw this meme here. This is funny. Mr. Kim, I'm really glad you called me. He's like, you suck. Bring back Orange Men with hot wife. Listen, fat. We have nukes. And we have stairs. Bang. See, it's just so simple. Yes, I know the left tried to meme on Trump, but they could only go so far. But now there's just meme after meme after meme after meme. And there's another thing. You got 72 days of the Capitol still being barbed wire and fenced off, and National Guard walking around there. Why don't we send the National Guard down to the border where we have 2,000 or plus illegals getting captured by Border Patrol every day, and countless more not getting slipping through the cracks? I don't know how many more are going to be coming in this year, but it's going to break all the records. But anyway, I think I'm going to leave it there. It's good to see you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, check me out. I'm on YouTube, of course. You see that there. BitChute. Got my Twitter and all these other places. I'll have that link down below. All right. I hope you guys have a good one. I'll see you later.